Let's check the teams out for you again. Wigan have Lydon at full-back, Robinson and a fire on the wings, Mather and Connolly the centres, Botica and Edwards the halves. Forwards see Skerrett and Platt the props with Martin Hall the hooker. Second row, Cowie and Farrell, Phil Clark at loose forward, and the substitutes, two internationals, one from New Zealand, one from Great Britain, Sam Panapa and Martin Dermott, emphasising the strength in depth. St Helens in the changed colours of blue and white. Prescott at full-back, Riley as Sullivan on the wings, Vivers, Lachlan centre, halves Griffiths and O'Donnell, and the forwards Dannett and Fogarty props, Hooker, Dwyer, Joint Nicol the second row, Cooper the captain loose forward, Haig and John Neal on the bench. Match referee, one of the most experienced officials. That's why we have these very strange conditions here at Central Park. So it's Wigan against St Helens from the very top drawer of the Stones Bit of Championship, the match that they all wait for here over Christmas. It makes Christmas in this part of the world, and that sort of challenge by Connolly on Vivers is what this game is all about.
Sure is. The capacity crowd there, and quickly John Holdsworth, the referee, catches Wigan offside. You can see they just stepped up. That man, Kelvin Skerrett, what a key figure he is.
90 points against the Saints in 3 years, total of 14 games, and 75 goals this season, plus 2 drop goals. The leading kicker in the big league. Almost bang in front, but about 34-35 metres out. Would just settle the nerves nicely if this one slides its way over. Botica, former All Black, to be joined by Twigamala shortly. But he has not kicked it this time. Always likes to get the first one over, and he pushed it wide of the posts. 0-0.
Perhaps the nerves that we were talking about earlier. This really is a top quality game. So many stars on display today.
Here's one of the stars of today and the stars of tomorrow, Andrew Farrell. Good tackling though from Saints. I think the choice of footwear today will be quite important. This pitch is quite hard in places. Martin Hall, the man who's keeping Martin Dermott on the bench. Botica to Platt. Good run from Andy Platt, former St Helens player, of course. Hall to Botica to Edwards. Edwards sees a gap on the left-hand side. Plants it over there, inviting a fire to have a run. Prescott saw it and cut the danger out.
Good thinking there from Edwards. Pushed it into the corner just to test the fullback, Steve Prescott. Knows he's only a youngster. But it was good positioning by Prescott there. He read that well.
St Helens then working the ball wide. That's Lachlan, but having trouble getting out of their own quarter. St Helens didn't fancy playing this match, but Wigan were quite content to take the referee's decision, and they'll be quite content now, St Helens, to take that decision, certainly.
Well, it appeared to me that Cowie hit the shoulder first. You see the hand did come up underneath the chin, but the impact really of the arm. But it wasn't to be, and that's nearly in the commentary box, thank you.
St Helens will restart then. This is Dannett. No stranger to Derby football on Humberside, but this his first match, Wigan Saints. Now Adam Fogarty. First time St Helens in the Wigan half of the field. Anthony Sullivan has drifted in field. Off the wing, and he's got through the tacklers, keeping his feet neatly, and it eventually is just closed down by Connolly.
Well, Wigan paid the price there of going too high. They're all over him. Connolly, he should get fired to 10 minutes. Is a yellow? Yes, that is good refereeing. That was a professional foul. Connolly all over the top there, Anthony Sullivan. Good job he was coming across there, though. Connolly and Lydon wrapped him through. The Wigan defence had gone too high on the winger. He'd found the gap, and that is good refereeing. You can see clearly Connolly was never going to allow Sullivan up to play that ball quickly. And well done, Mr. Holdsworth. The yellow card, go and take a rest.
Well, he's only been on the field 5 minutes. Now he has 10 minutes to reflect on the fact that he must let the tackle player get to his feet as quickly as possible. But that was a professional foul. Perhaps Wigan content to concede the 2 rather than 4 or 6.
On the replay there, you can see that Connolly's never going to allow him to have any chance. Puts a leg over the top there, couldn't even roll away.
So what a moment for Steve Prescott, the teenage full-back. 13 goals this season already. We have watched his development here on Sky with interest. And make that 14 goals. First blood, St Helens, they lead 2 points to 0.
Well, as you mentioned, Eddie, Wigan perhaps quite happy to give away the 2 rather than a possible 6. The Wigan defence really were split there. Crowd not too happy. Sean Edwards wanted to get on with a quick kick, trying to catch the St Helens defence before they got back into position. Referee Holdsworth disallowing that.
Lydon with the kick-off. Underneath it is Phil Vevers. Picks up pace, Vevers, veteran of plenty of these derby matches. 27 since 1984 for Vevers. Now Bernard Dwyer, but no way through there for him. A fire first, then Cowie finished him off. Cooper to Nicol. Nicol had such a big game, and that's a high tackle by Andy Platt. I was saying to say he's had such a big game last year in this fixture.
No doubt about that one. Fortunately for Nicol, it was a flat of the hand. Nicol just stepping off his left foot. Andy Platt swinging the left arm. Didn't miss him either. But luckily for Nicol, the fist was not clenched.
This time, St Helens in the shape of Vevers make no mistake and find touch from the penalty right on halfway. 7 minutes gone then. Dannett with the drive for St Helens, stopped by Cowie, Skerrett and Phil Clark. Dwyer's the dummy half. This now is Chris Joint.
Interesting to see how St Helens are using the forwards very tight down the middle.
Mike Riley almost gets past Skerrett but can't get away from Cowie. Neil Cowie, certainly one of the form players in the big league this season. Cooper to Griffiths, turns the ball back inside to Sonny Nicol. Must say, Steve-O, the Saints, who have got new coach Eric Hughes watching from the stands today, they're anxious to impress and they're looking impressive. That's a lovely chip forward by Griffiths, and the referee says he took the dive. He wasn't impeded.
Nice position though, wasn't it, from Joe Lydon?
First run from Boddicker back inside, looking for Robinson. Cooper was there. Referee says play on with O'Donnell. O'Donnell making tracks to the corner. Hauled down by Cowie though. Great defence from the big man.
Obstruction off the ball. When Gus O'Donnell went through, the referee John Holdsworth saw that a St Helens player was holding back one of the Wigan defenders. He wasn't going to have any of that. Let's see if we can see it on this one. The ball's clear there. As he moves away, there you can see it was Cooper there on Boddicker. He just pushed him to one side. There was no chance that the standoff Boddicker could get to that.
The players today using this commentary gantry as a coconut chai. The first penalty of the day hit the post as far as we're concerned. That one just grazed Steve-O. Great roar from the crowd.
You call it a graze?
Happy Christmas, old boy. Martin Hall. The runner is Andrew Farrell. Saints turn to defend. Bidding for their first league victory here in 6 years. Ahead by 2 points to 0. Wigan in possession with Lydon. Referee John Holdsworth standing the St Helens defenders back the full 10 yards. Barry John Mather, perhaps the man most at threat with the arrival of Twiggamala. That announcement, by the way, to the crowd just before the kickoff. Lydon hoists a high kick. Prescott underneath it. Oh, he took that with the coolness of a veteran.
What a super catch there. You could see Platt charging in there. He went for the ball, did Platt. Make sure that he didn't take the man out. But what nerves from the youngster Steve Prescott. Super stuff.
Outstanding talent. St Helens penned inside their own 10-metre zone. Vevers trying to get them out of there, does so. 15 metres now from his own line. Here's Fogarty, big prop forward, big collision with Platt. Last tackle, great defence, Wigan. Griffiths will just hoof that ball downfield. Lydon watches it all the way, bounces on the frosty surface into his arms, and then Chris Joynt brings him down.
Good kick and chase there from St Helens. They realise Wigan down to 12 men. They've got to post this advantage.
Hall to Clark. That looked a bit high from Cooper. The referee had a very hard look at it and said play on. Edwards finds Skerrett.
Well, it certainly was over the shoulders, but he was turning, was Clark. Took away most of the impact. It's probably why Holdsworth said play on, and that's too long. Well left by the youngster Prescott.
Martin Hall's kick just bouncing on this hard surface. On another day it might have held in the field of play, but not this time, so St Helens can work the ball out. That's Mike Riley. Dwyer to Nicholl. Nicholl has got to make some ground and make some holes in this Wigan defence. Head-to-head over the years of 38 matches, Wigan have won 19. St Helens have won 16. There have been 3 draws. The last one here at Central Park on Good Friday. A match that effectively gave the championship to Wigan on a plate. St Helens in possession with Loughlin. Not a forward pass. Mather brings him down. Cooper's in at dummy half. Gets the ball out wide to Sullivan. Nowhere for Sullivan to move. So quick Wigan move up. So hard they work at the marker position. Robinson with the kick downfield. Here's Lydon. That ball has come free. It's a good job there for Wigan that Clark was there.
He's allowed to do that, Cooper. The ball was placed on the ground. Once it's placed on the ground, there you can see clearly. He's allowed to kick the ball forward or backwards if he wants. He can rake for it. They really are fired up, this St Helens side.
Edwards has had a change of footwear. He's been out there 12 minutes. Wants different studs. The surface, Steve-O, will be a problem, and it's amazing that we've got this pitch. Wigan have got undersoil heating. I cannot believe it.
Ludicrous.
Wigan on the halfway line. St Helens ahead by 2 points to 0. The penalty from Prescott. And Saints now will run this ball out if they can, but that was a cruncher from Farrell on Mike Riley. O'Donnell. St Helens are anxious to get on with it, aren't they? They're keen to move this ball out wide.
Well, they realise they can't take on this Wigan pack. They are very strong, this Wigan 6. And it's the right tactics in my book for Saints. Get the ball out wide. They're using the link very well indeed. Griffiths and O'Donnell combining.
Here goes Sonny Nicholl. Straightens up. Good job that Farrell was there. And Platt finishes him off. And over the top came Skerrett. St Helens, the side that went so close to Wigan last season. 3 victories from the 6 fixtures between the two sides. They took 3 points off them in the championship, and early possession is swinging their way. (2-0) to the Saints. Skerrett with the run. He puffs the cheeks out and off he goes. Good tackling by Cooper. Played that ball from an almost horizontal position. Here comes Cowie. Bounces off Griffiths. Joynt is there and wraps him up. Cowie has some strength.
Great run from Cowie. That shows you how when you're running fast you get over that advantage line, and that's what Wigan have done in the last 2 play the balls. St Helens defence just a little bit too slow, moving up.
It's the last tackle, and here's Lydon, who again will hoist the midfield bomb. Prescott's coming for it. He's thought better of it, and he's there to pick up the pieces off O'Donnell, and he's off on a run.
Well, Edwards looked to be as though he was interfering there. Use the left elbow. Play on by referee Holdsworth. But they're running hot. St Helens, they're keeping this ball alive.
Connolly returns from his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Chorus of boos, of course, from the St Helens crowd. Haven't forgiven him yet for leaving Knowsley Road for Central Park. Here's Chris Joynt.
Gee, it's tough out there. We saw Andy Dannett and Kelvin Skerritt just exchange words then. Skerritt thought that Dannett had perhaps used the boot.
Griffiths drops one over the top. It bounces a little bit awkwardly for Lydon. He's dropped it. St Helens are in. They've got the ball out wide and they're in definitely here with Prescott. Sean Edwards is complaining the try should not be allowed, but St Helens, they capitalised on the mistake that was made from the chip through, and Prescott second of the season.
Well, in these conditions, it's a beautiful kick there from Griffiths right into the corner. And you can see that if Fire's a bit slow to get to it, it takes an awful bounce there. And Lydon made a real meal of it. That was brilliant play there. Viva's got the ball back inside. Oh, super play. Lydon lost it before he would made contact. Prescott moving through. Now watch Viva's. Super stuff on the inside as he was falling. And that looked a forward pass to me. There's the ball back inside, and that is a mile forward. No wonder that Edwards was screaming at John Holdsworth.
Steve Prescott won't be complaining, and he's going to make, as far as he is concerned, the 4 into a possible 6. But it looks like that's one that the referee and touch judge have missed. Prescott with the conversion attempt. This kid has got confidence. 18 years old, a try at Central Park, and all the points belong to Steve Prescott and St Helens.
Well, we see again the high shot. Now it's Riley that retrieves the ball. It was great play from Vivas, but you can actually see that the fullback is stood well in front. That, in fact, should have been offside. That should have been a penalty, not just a forward pass. But they've got away with it. Let's not take anything away from the beautiful kick from Griffiths, and it was Lydon that made an awful attempt to take that. He should have wrapped that up quite easy.
Well, he showed it was a great kick downfield, though, by Griffiths, but St Helens, who have been far more the impressive side in the opening 17.5 minutes here, have an 8-0 advantage. And Wigan are warming up a substitute. Bill Arthur with the details.
Martin Dermott just about to come on, and it looks as though Martin Hall's coming off, and before the game even there was some doubt as to whether Martin Hall was going to start this. He didn't join in the warm-up. Well, he's lasted only 17 minutes. I think he's got a knock. So Martin Dermott, who's been sub in the last 2 games, comes on. He's in there in the front row now.
Not bad if you can replace Martin Hall with a Great Britain international, and that is what Wigan have done. And John Holdsworth is right in the middle there and trying to separate Skerritt and Dannett, and he wants words with both. It's been going on for quite some time, this.
It goes back to that incident where Dannett was swinging the leg. Skerritt didn't like it, and he took the opportunity, but not the best opportunity, right in front of the referee. He tries to get round him, even with the referee there. How's that for giving the game up? Not in front of the referee, he went up around him. Dannett, the big smile on his face, he got away with a penalty. It's rough and it's tough.
And watch out for Skerritt, who is now tackling John Neal, who has replaced Adam Fogarty. Here's Dannett and Skerritt. Woof. This could boil quite easily. Griffiths, Nicol, St Helens are running a little hot. Still Nicol, what a run! Brushing the players off all over the place.
Oh, super run there from the Great Britain second rower. But Wigan are paying the price, I'm afraid, of going far too high.
The ball's come free, though, to Robinson. That's a great tackle from Cooper. It had to be. Half the field was beckoning there for Robinson. Skerritt is wound up. Wigan are wound up, and St Helens are leading 8-0.
That could be the problem with Wigan. They really have got to get themselves back into the swing of things, not to lose their composure.
What a run from Farrell. The ball inside to Botica. Edwards is there in support, all wrapped up by Prescott. Great defence from the youngster. Referee says let them get on with it. Here's Dermot. Dermot to Platt. Ball bounces free. It's not play on, it's knock on. Mather will have to come back.
Not the best pass. Dermot, see how it's dipping forward, and it was a little bit forward there. Platt just checking to see who was coming towards him. But what a great run from the second row, Andy Farrell. We just mentioned that Wigan have to get back into their composure. They've been rocked. Look at the run. Long stride, he throws the dummy. Vivas takes it. Superb pass on the inside. And from the resulting tackle, it was a bad pass from the substitute, Martin Dermot, that threw their chance away.
Griffiths now in possession for St Helens. Bill Arthur with Adam Fogarty now.
Adam, that's your first 20 minutes at Central Park. It must seem like an absolute whirlwind.
Yeah, it's funny enough, it's been the easiest 20 minutes I've played so far all season. I don't know why, but, you know, I was just getting my second wind and I had to come off. Bit sick, you know, about that.
But it's been a terrific start for Saints.
Yeah, great, yeah. We've come with a plan and so far everyone's playing to it, so, you know, it started well. Just a couple of silly drop balls, but, you know, on ground like this, it's rock hard out there. It's going to be expected.
It's a great start to a new era for Saints, really, isn't it?
It's not a great start to the season, but if we can win here today, this will be a good start for the rest of the season, yeah.
They're picking up the pieces under new coach Eric Hughes, but it's number 13 there, Shane Cooper, who has prepared the team, along with Frank Barrow, for this match here at Wigan. And Eric Hughes will take charge as from tomorrow. Here's Martin Afire. That left thigh is heavily strapped. And Edwards has come off, holding the shoulder, so Sam Panapa has come into the fray. And this is the problem, Steve, with playing on hard pitches, the injuries that could happen.
I just cannot believe that they've got under soil eating. There's a swinging arm. Well, that's stupidity. They've lost the position, and maybe Kelvin Skerritt was about to lose his marbles. He's been wound up. Jonathan Neal it was that threw in the little one. See Skerritt was over the top. There it is, another one. Get it for the second time, right in front of the referee, Holdsworth. Well, this is a bad mistake from St Helens there in the driving seat, 8-0 up. They can't afford to give away silly penalties like that.
Well, he didn't miss him, did he? And the referee didn't miss John Neal. 5-3. Somebody got a hand to that. I think it might have been Lachlan, was it?
It was, and that'll be a scrum down. Good play by the centre. Pretty tall guy. He reached over whilst his feet were still in the field of play. Replay will show it. Feet still in the field of play, gets a hand to it.
Needless to say, Wigan got the possession from the scrum. Connolly comes to grief. This is Botica. Now Panapa on for Edwards. Panapa straight through the hole. He's got the support there from Clark. And Sullivan tries to wrap Clark up. He gets up and continues the run, but not for long. O'Donnell has him. Wigan 12 metres short with Panapa, with Botica. Now, well, it bounced off Farrell's heel and was picked up by B.J. Mather. And good tackling again from Cooper. He's working hard as the Saints captain coach. This is Cowie. Cowie running straight.
Cooper short is working hard. He's leading by example. He's tackling low.
Dermot fancies at 4 from dummy half. He's got them. Dermot's only been on the field a few minutes. Already he's made an impact. And it's his first try of this season. Only 3 full games. What a moment to pick to score your first try.
This is the build-up to it. Good run from Cowie. You'll notice how Cowie gets tackled. There's 3 men there. He struggles through. Now quickly, they get away. He wants to play the ball quick, and that's why the defence was caught. The dummy, in he goes. Great try. Good thinking there from Martin Dermot. Look how he throws the dummy there. It was Dannett and Nicol that got caught. That is a great try, and what a time for it to come for Wigan. They went on the rack. That's put them well and truly back in the game.
Martin Dermot, as I say, only 3 full games this season. Sub now for the last 3, but making a big bid to retain his hooking jersey. Martin Hall currently wearing number 9 for Wigan, but he is off and we believe injured. Botica then, he had that early penalty attempt. This is much more easy, and for a player and kicker of Botica's quality, that's an easy 2. So Wigan, 6-8 now.
Dermot throws the dummy. You can see the defence running there, but look at the second mark and he goes in. All you got to do is hold off for a second. The gap opens and it closes too slowly. He takes full advantage.
He'd been on the field just 6 minutes and he's got Wigan back in this match. So 8-6 the Saints, and just coming up to 26 minutes on the watch. Here's Cowie. Well, he has played well this season, the big second rower. Gets the ball away to Dermot. Wigan keeping the ball alive. Scarlett again, trying to run straight through Bernard Dwyer. Loses the ball. It was stolen from him, though. Penalty to Wigan.
Well, they're just losing the plot, aren't they, St Helens? They were in charge of it there, and it swung away from the centre, Paul Loughlin, using their hands in the tackle. And once again, they've allowed Wigan to get back out of danger zone and put themselves into danger. See their hand come away, it just drags it. It's just enough for it to interfere and jar that ball away. Stupid penalties.
Wigan in possession, and now with Platt. That's a good tackle on him by John Neal. Botica to Cowie, back to Botica. The runner was Farrell. They missed him out and find Panapa. Panapa, though, as he tried to get that ball away, only found the turf instead.
You can see he's tackled. It was Jonathan Griffiths. Now then, does that constitute stealing the ball? It's a difficult one for any referee. You see how Panapa's trying to pass the ball, and Griffiths uses the right arm to knock it down.
But it's a scrum to St Helens, and they have the possession with Riley. Riley stopped dead in his tracks by the tackle from Clark. Cooper to Griffiths. Now Vivas. Vivas looking for the support inside from Prescott. Decided instead to hang on to it. Panapa and Connolly combined to bring him down. Dwyer making the little signal. It was coming this way to Joint. Cooper manages to pick that one up. The Wigan crowd scream for a forward pass. Referee is unimpressed. Dwyer will carry it on. Cooper, the dummy half. High ball to O'Donnell. It went backwards. Play on, says Holdsworth. Nickel to Prescott through the gap. Hauled down by Andy Farrell. Two outstanding talents in the British game there. Two teenagers, Prescott and Farrell. Griffiths with the kick downfield. It came up for them before, but that was well taken by Lydon. And he gets away from O'Donnell, but he can't get away from Chris Joint.
Another good kick and chase there. They've got it right, St Helens, this first half. Interesting to note that normally St Helens use their back three running out wide, especially Nickel and Joint. They're not. They're using them down the middle, and they're using the link with the three quarters. They know they don't have to mix it with this big Wigan pack, and it's working.
Here's Farrell. Saw the little gap, manages to stand and gets the ball away to Connolly. Connolly with the run. He has support there from Panapa, who pushed Mather out the way. Brilliant play from Panapa, round the corner. Great try of fire. That was magic. What a pass from Panapa, but it looks like Fire is injured again. Unlucky 13 of the season. But what a sensational pass from Panapa that opened the door.
Beautiful long ball out wide in the big second row, Andy Farrell. They can't get him down. You'll see Connolly way in the background there. That's what we call a second phase of attack. He could not, any chance, Fevers. Look at the beautiful pass inside Panapa. Lydon was taken out, but look at that superb pass round the man. And you can see that Fire, even when he took his first step, the hamstring had gone, I'm sure. But this kid is all explosion, isn't he? Look at the strength there. Where are you? Second phase comes Connolly. Turns on the gas. Vivas is left. keeps it cool back on the inside. Paniper throws the dummy. Young Prescott can't do it. Positioned well, but you can see as soon as he takes the first step, that was a well-taken try, but he's in a lot of problems, is Martin O'Fire.
Well, he's up off the feet, but as you can see, on the feet rather, but as you can see, he's limping a bit and carrying that leg. But 13 tries for the season now for Martin O'Fire. Packed terraces here at Central Park, great to see. Botica with another conversion attempt, this time from way out on the touchline. Wigan with the lead for the first time, 10-8. It will be 12-8 if this sails over. But not this time. So the gap just 2 points.
Such a big man, Farrell. You can see all the heavy traffic there. There's Connolly. He's coming through on the burst. And look at the gap there. If you don't get him first time, he's a big guy. One step and he's in top gear. Oh, look at him go. Vivas had no chance. Super play on the inside. Through the dummy. Prescott had no chance. And from there on in, the ball found its way to Martin Chariots of Fire.
Just over half an hour gone then, 10 points to 8. Saints with an 8-point lead. It's been clawed back and the champions now hold the advantage. And they hold the ball too with Robinson.
Well, if they eventually win this game, Wigan, there's one guy they want to buy a few drinks to, and that's the big second row, Andy Farrell. It was from both his breaks down midfield, virtually in the same position, that has put them in the driving seat. They lead by 2.
Referee spotted a short right hook, a bit high. Loughlin, or joint it was. Yeah, it's Loughlin.
Well, it was just a rub over the face. Now, why on earth would you want to do that? They are becoming their own worst enemies, St. Helens. They took control, 8-0, and what have they done? They've given away 3 silly penalties. That's all it was. It was just a rub across the nose.
Skerritt again. Whoa, that was high. Skerritt didn't like it, no wonder.
The swinging arm of Bernard Dwyer is getting rough and tough. Skerritt's been involved all day. Dwyer with the swinging arm. And I'm afraid that John Holdsworth is going to have to sort something out here. We knew it was going to be tough. It always is between these two sides. But let's not lose control. We're here to play the greatest game of all, not boxing.
7 minutes to half-time then. Wigan 10-8 ahead, and they have this penalty to increase the lead. John Holdsworth looks to be enjoying it, doesn't he? Big smile on his face. Referees with a bit of a smile, does John Holdsworth. Bit of a character. But he's got it all on here to keep these two warring factions apart. Botica then, the man who spoke to Twiggamala in Scotland, told him all about Wigan and what rugby league was about, left the decision to Twiggamala, and Twiggamala now joins the Wigan Armoury for the second half of this season. Just kicks it, just gets it inside the posts. 2 from 4. Wigan 12, St Helens 8. Since they went into that 8-point lead, the Saints have been hit for 12 without reply. They restart. Botica gives it to Farrell. Good tackle, Griffiths. Dermot to Clark. Dermot again. Low pass to Botica. Here's Connolly. Whoops. The ball's got a bit of ice on it, I think.
Bad mistake by Connolly, lost it completely. Vivas was nowhere near him. This is where St Helens really are desperate to get a try just before the half-time break.
O'Donnell. Neil.
That was forward a mile. It was a move that went sour. Not much cranberry sauce on that chicken. That was stupid. The man was well and truly in front, Jonathan Neil. Well, we mentioned it, Eddie, but Saints really have been their own worst enemy in this latter part of the first half.
It's Paniper again in possession for Wigan. St Helens have won just one of their last four. A run that included 2 defeats and a draw. Not the best place in the world to come and try and improve that sort of record. But it really is, and we've said it a few times this season, but this really is make or break for Saints today. They've got to win. Platt with the run. They're up to halfway, Wigan. We've got 4 minutes of this first half left. Dermot. He's made a bit of a difference since he came on. Mather couldn't hold on to that. Nicol picks up the pieces. I think he had a swipe at someone there, and the touch judge has seen it.
Big tall centre there, lost control of it. Riley came in well off the line. Just a little bit further on from that. The swinging arm. There you can see it as it comes through. And then it's from this, you can see how Nicol used the right elbow right into Connolly's face. The crowd went berserk. Touch judge was straight on.
He's lucky to be on the field.
Without doubt. Well, the nightmare for Saints continues. Why on earth would you want to do a thing like that? That was malicious. The intent was there.
But from that kick, the ball went dead in goal.
Well, he's a very fortunate man. John Holdsworth giving Nicol the benefit of the doubt there.
Here comes Andrew Farrell again. Dermot to Cowie. I think Dermot has made a difference to Wigan since he's been on, Steve-O, and that's taking nothing away from Martin Hall, who has played so well this season. But Dermot, in this situation, dummy half, he has all the invention, doesn't he?
Yes, he controls things. He's been running from the dummy half position. He's making the St Helens second marker work hard. They don't really know what he's going to come up with next. It's always an advantage.
Connolly jinking and dancing, trying to get away from St Helens, but they close him down eventually. It's the last tackle, this, and here comes Skerrett. Clark, diagonal kick. It's one for Robinson. If he'd have taken that, he'd have scored.
Wouldn't that have been the try of the season? Clark not noticed for his kick, and Robinson just had the fingertips to it. It sailed through. What a try that would have been.
Here's Chris Joint. That's a good run from Joint. He's still going. Wigan thought that Clark had him, but somehow Joint managed to get away from the grasp of the loose forward. Here's John Neal, man who was highly rated by the previous coach at Nosey Road, Mike McLennan. Dwyer to Griffiths and O'Donnell. Griffiths again. Nicol on the charge. That's what Sonny Nicol does best. Closing minute, first half. St Helens in possession with Dannett. Gets the ball away to Dwyer. What would Saints give now for a try? They're keeping the ball alive well. It's with Cooper. They've got men out wide here. Loughlin is one of them. He's invited Sullivan inside, but Wigan have closed him down. Sullivan's still going. That's a great run from Sullivan. A desperate Wigan defence bring him down. Cooper to Dannett, the big man going for the line. Just held up. Good defence, Wigan. It was on the last tackle. It's the turnover.
Super play from both sides. St Helens keeping the ball alive there.
This is Robinson. O'Donnell was there to bring him down. Good job he was too. Botica, Panapa, and now this is Skerritt. We're entering stoppage time, first half. Farrell on the charge again. Not much stoppage time. 40 minutes exactly. 40 super minutes. St Helens bossed the opening period. Wigan then came back, Ofaya with his 13th try of the season, and Wigan have a 12.28 advantage at half-time.
You're one.
So half-time here at Central Park, and Wigan ahead by 12 points to 8. The tries from Dermot and Ofaya, 2 goals from Botica, to the try from Prescott and the 2 goals from Prescott. St Helens at one stage enjoying an 8-0 lead. The statistics from the first half. Team tackles, well, St Helens have got through a lot more tackling than Wigan, despite the fact that for long periods in that first half they were in the ascendancy in terms of possession, but not so at the end of 40 minutes. Only 4 scrums, 12 penalties and 8 handling errors, which is quite outstanding in these very slippery and difficult conditions. Andy Haig has come on for St Helens for Bernard Dwyer. Haig, another of the young and up-and-coming stars at Knowsley Road, but losing Bernard Dwyer, their hooker at the start of this second half, is quite a blow for St Helens, particularly with Martin Dermot on the field now and looking so dangerous. Dermot came on along with Panapa, and from that moment really Wigan's match against St Helens here turned round. So 40 minutes of the biggest Stonesbitter Championship match of the season so far, with certainly the biggest crowd at Central Park, and St Helens trailing by 12 points to 8 get this game in motion. And here is Andrew Farrell, who has been doing that all afternoon, picking the ball up, tucking it underneath his shoulder and driving downfield. And there is a St Helens player who is still to pick himself up from that collision by Farrell.
See Gus O'Donnell go down there and, oh dearie me, collided with a very hard pitch.
I think he took a boot in the face as well, Steve-O.
Such a big, long striding man, isn't he? Yeah, stray boot. There's a big second rower pushing himself through. He's a tough little character, though, is Gus O'Donnell.
Well, there was talk, wasn't there, of O'Donnell leaving St Helens after Mike McLennan left him out of the Regal tie against Warrington, but he came back and he dropped the goal that won their last match in the big league against Hull Kingston Rovers. Seems to have settled his differences with the club now. Of course, it's Mike McLennan who has moved on to pastures new. Well, Bernard Dwyer is downstairs. He has not emerged for this second half. Let's find out what's the matter with Bill Arthur.
Bernard, first of all, what's the problem?
Landed awkward on the shoulder the first couple of minutes, and just getting steadily worse as the game went on. So couldn't really pass the ball for match and a half back.
But you stuck with it for the first half?
Yeah, well, I thought it might go a bit easier, but just went worse and worse.
What's the Saints' game plan for this second half then? You're still in it, obviously.
Yeah, we've been training well all week. Concentration, all kicking game, and first 25 minutes we had them pinned down, and Wigan didn't come once in the game really, but Wigan great team and they clawed the way back, and we just got to get back to our original game plan now, and hopefully we can play the rest of the game like the first 25 minutes.
That's the plan then from the St Helens dressing room, but it's Wigan who are in possession from that scrum. The knock-on by Steve Prescott, putting his team into a position of some danger here. They've got some defending to do against Cowie. Cowie, if Farrell has been driving himself down all afternoon, so too has Cowie. Here's Panapa, pops one up for Farrell, try Farrell! Andy Farrell with the try, and the ground, I'm sure, would open up and swallow Steve Prescott if it possibly could, because it's from Prescott's error that Farrell has grabbed his 6th try of this campaign.
When they make a mistake, you've got to make it count, and it's not The man there, you can see Sam Panapa, the substitute who came in, they did the run around, and when you've got the big express train like Andy Farrell coming at full speed, there was nothing going to stop him there. Beautiful run round there. See how Dermot goes away, just holds the defence enough. That split second is enough to go through. Gus O'Donnell, the man who received treatment just a few moments ago, had no chance of stopping him. Dermot the dummy, Panapa, he knew that the big fella was coming. What a talent this Farrell is. Super try. Make them pay from the mistake, and Wigan have done just that.
Andy Farrell made his debut last April in these derbies, in the 8-all draw, and now he's scored a try here on Christmas Sunday, or Boxing Day, call it what you will, but it's not a great Christmas for young Steve Prescott. But what a super pass that was again from Panapa. He put one round the corner to get a fire, and then he just lobbed the ball up into the path of Farrell for that one. Boddicker with the extras. Wigan have hit St Helens right at the start of this second half. The gap's 10 points.
You'll notice how the Dermot runs on the loop. The defence is going that way, and look where the big fella's coming. Oh, super stuff. Bang, crash, I'm taking 4. Excellent play. What a talent, Farrell.
So the second half not 5 minutes old, and Wigan have an important, perhaps 10-point lead. Here's Cowie.
Well, it's not just a coincidence, is it, that the two substitutes that Wigan brought on midway through that first half really has turned it around. Panapa and Martin Dermot. Dermot added a lot of, shall we say, zip at the play of the ball, running from the dummy half too, confusing the defence, but it's been Panapa. He really is in fine form.
Lydon with the kick into the empty space. Prescott chasing after it. Applies the brakes on the skiddy surface, and then Connolly wraps him all up. Another mistake. Wigan have the ball back again with Skerritt.
Well, they're coming fast and furious now. Substitute Andy Hay there, making a bad mistake, but good play by Cooper. Oh, and what does he do? He throws it back to them.
That was Vivas who couldn't hang on to the pass. Cooper is getting a little bit frustrated, I think. It was Cooper, though, with the rake at the play of the ball, and then was too quick for Connolly.
Too quick, he pinched it off him and got away with it. And then what did he do? He threw an awful pass to Phil Vivas.
Cowie again. Once more, questions being asked of this St Helens defence. Dermot, the dummy half, flicks the pass to Boddicker, to Panapa, back to Boddicker. The runners arrive. It was Clark. St Helens at the moment have it all on to keep Wigan at bay. Here's Skerritt who drops it. Griffiths has it for St Helens.
Trying to be a little bit too smart there. Panapa never going to come round. There's no chance there for Skerritt to take it. He was looking at the men coming at him. Hard time for St Helens now. 10 points adrift. They've got to roll up the sleeves and really get back into the swing of things.
And it was Lydon who was kicking at the ball when it hit the ground, and there was danger there for St Helens. The ball was shuttled dead by Mike Riley. Good thinking by Lydon. Made a mistake in the first half that led to the St Helens score, but is redeeming himself now. This is Farrell. Here's Platt. Dermot to Panapa. Boddicker to Clark. Such movement, such fluidity from this Wigan side. Connolly was all wrapped up by Riley, though. That was good defence from the winger. Dermot. Boddicker. Riley again, all over him.
You can see how Wigan are eager to get play the ball quickly. They're getting over that advantage line on every occasion, every play of the ball. The forwards are running with a lot of vim and vigour.
And that's a knock on against Phil Clark. Ball just squeezing out.
Bad mistake there. What they'd interfered with there, it's hard to say. It really is a bad rule, this. A lot of players niggle and try to punch the ball, drag it away. All part of the professionalism, I'm afraid.
Griffiths the man feeding the scrum, and then Panapa with the tackling. 8 minutes, second half gone. Wigan 18, St Helens 8. Cooper, a poor ball again from Cooper. Loughlin simply couldn't pick that up.
Well, what on earth has happened to Shane Cooper's passing game? That's the second bad ball within the space of a couple of minutes. Shake of the head, he realizes the situation. That's early in the tackle count too. That really hurts.
For the first quarter of an hour, it was going so right for St Helens. Since then, the wheels have fallen off. This is Lydon. Connolly is there at dummy half. He's the man in forward directing the operations. He switches it on the short side to Panapa. Now Botica takes over. Fires the pass to Dermot. Dermot tried to go round Joint. And Platt couldn't hang on to it. Certainly as the conditions get worse, it will be more and more difficult for these two sides, not only to keep their feet, but to play the open and attractive rugby that they are both so capable of. Crunch! Nickel on Platt.
Oh, watch Andy go back. Oh. Not often you see that. He's a big boy, he's Andy Platt.
St Helens having difficulty getting out of their own half. In possession here now with Joint. Clark wraps him up, it's with Griffiths. A little gap opens up for Griffiths, and Griffiths scampers across the turf. Dabs the ball forward. He's invited Sullivan. It's Sullivan against Robinson. Robinson wins it.
Good play from both sides. Beautiful break from Jonathan Griffiths. There you see Robinson clearing the decks. But I was very surprised with Anthony Sullivan. He didn't seem to be making any pace on that one. He'd open ground. Griffiths looked to the left. This is a break there. Skerritt went far too high. He knows he hasn't got the speed. Pulls in Robinson. Now look at this. He kicks away. Sullivan out of the picture should really have been steaming onto that. But that just shows you how fast the youngster Robinson is.
That was great play from St Helens. Perhaps it will give them just a bit of a confidence lift. Nickel running straight at Connolly and a fire, and the touch judge is on.
Well, now it's the turn of the Wigan players to do something silly. Nickel, a great burst there. You can see that the hand of Frano Botica came flying through, then a little bit of a help from Connolly. That's a silly penalty for Wigan to give away. It's all about composure, especially when you're in front.
O'Donnell just gains about 5 more metres, and St Helens will run now at this Wigan defence. That's good play from Neil. He keeps the ball alive. Here's Joint. Wigan stretched. Cooper couldn't get the pass away. Botica wraps him up. These are important moments for the Saints with Dannett now. Nickel is limping a bit. This is Joint. O'Donnell to Cooper. Vivas over the top. Andy Haig just couldn't hang on to that. But Martin Dermott certainly hung on to him. Vivas. Griffiths. Running down a blind alley as Griffiths gets the ball away to Riley. They've not made any ground at all here. That's the last tackle. Remember, they started this move on the Wigan quarter line. It's a high kick from Riley. A tester for Lydon. No problem.
Confidence personified there. Heavy traffic. But the experience of Lydon there coming to the rescue. It was a good bomb from O'Donnell. Itiga now tackling. They've got to St Helens. They've got to force Wigan into their own quarter and perhaps look for that mistake.
Here's Skerrett trying to get Wigan out of the danger zone. Adam Fogarty has returned to the fray and Sonny Nicol has gone off. You may remember that we spoke to Fogarty in the first half. He said he enjoyed the opening 20 minutes. He went off and St Helens lost their way, but Nicol is needing some treatment and Dannett can see stars because there's a bit of a clash of heads with his own player. I think it's Fogarty.
It is. Clash of heads coming through. No, it's the shoulder. Fogarty's shoulder. You can see Dannett make a grab for the head. You don't expect that from your own players. It's hard enough for the opposition.
It's the last tackle. The kick's charged down by Fogarty. Vivas just picks it up and will continue on. A fire has him, wrapped him up and stopped him. It was Farrell that Vivas got away from. These are good moments for the Saints. Fogarty. O'Donnell, Cooper, long past Griffiths. Wigan went for the intercept. Cooper, Joint trying to take him on his own. Good defence, Wigan. Platt's leaning all over him. Cooper, Wigan's defence has regrouped and is standing firm. That's the 5th tackle. Fogarty's there. Oh, it's a bad ball. Griffiths will hack it through. Is it going to come up for Vivas? Is it going to come up for Prescott? No. It comes up instead for Lydon.
Well, he did well there, Vivas, but he's hurt himself as he went down on the hard pitch. He's in agony. The Australian Phil Vivas. Once again, it was an awful pass from St Helens. There you can see the collides there in a lot of pain.
Banged his hip.
Oh, that is crunch time. Good play there by Martin Afire. He had to be there. Lydon, the full-back, in a wonderful position to rescue the thing. That was an awful pass and good thinking there, really. Putting the foot to the ball was the number 6, Jonathan Griffiths. But on the rack of Wigan.
You get the feeling that St Helens must score here, but while Robinson's in possession, anything's possible. And he made, whoa, a good 15 metres ground then. Took a bang on the head for his pains. Here's Dermott, now Skerrett. Riley takes him with a bit of help from Dannett. That has been one of the battles of this match, Dannett and Skerrett. Here's Platt, and Fogarty brings him down.
Oh, that was a right arm from Fogarty.
Well, he was a heavyweight boxer, wasn't he? And Platt sees the humorous side of it.
Well, he has to. Didn't make contact, that's why he sees the humorous side of it. But the attempt was there. Touch Judge on. Here's the right one, but he missed. The smile there from Platt. No smile from that guy. And once again, they let Wigan off.
Skerrett again now. Simply brushed O'Donnell aside. Riley has done a sterling job in defence. Here's Platt.
There's going to be some sore boys out there after this game.
They hit these balls at such pace, don't they, Wigan? When the ball is popped up from the pass, the man comes steaming through to collect the pass. There's one of them, Clark. What a run from Clark. Oh, try time. That's sensational. Just as I was saying, they hit the straps as they picked the pass up. Clark proves the point.
The man most likely, you'd stake your life on him. See how he runs at the angle. The nice little step and jink. No chance for Jonathan Neal. The speed. That is a great try. Well taken. Quick play the ball. He ran the angle. Came from one side. Run at the other. He ran at the big, tall prop forward, Jonathan Neal. The rest is history. Super stuff. See how the defence, they work the second man. That's what it means by doing that. Running at the angle, stretches the defence. If one man misses, and that man was Jonathan Neal, the result is a very vital try indeed.
Phil Clark, who scored a try in the Challenge Cup tie here against St Helens last season. And Joe Lydon takes over the kicking responsibilities, but pulls the conversion attempt well wide of the mark. 22 points to 8. Wigan in the driving seat.
Dermot runs to come this way. Notice how the second marker follows him, but look at the arcing run from the one and only Clark. Look at him go there. A little step. Jonathan Neal just a little bit too slow to fill in that straight line of defence. Well taken try.
So St Helens, after pressing that Wigan line for so long and looking for a try themselves, now concede another. 22-8 it is, and we've had 18 minutes, nearly 19 minutes of this second half. Pitch side now, and Bill.
Looks as though Sean Edwards is going to be coming back on, and Frano Botica will be coming off for Wigan. Edwards took a nasty bang on his shoulder in the first half, he says, as a result of landing on this rock-hard surface. Well, that's hardly surprising, but it looks as though he's going to come back on. We could also see Martin Hall very shortly. Meanwhile, a sin bin.
A sin bin indeed. Kelvin Skerrett has been sin binned for 10 minutes for the use of the elbow. He will take 10.
No doubt about it, straight into Cooper's throat. It's coming into our game a lot more, this. We saw one incident in the first half. Lucky to get away with it there.
I just wonder, Steve-O, shouldn't that be red, the colour of that card, rather than yellow?
Well, he's given him the benefit of the doubt, protecting the man.
Botica, meanwhile, comes off.
But I tell you what, I'm quite happy. A referee has had enough common sense to use a yellow card for foul play. It's about time.
So an hour of this match has gone, and Edwards has taken his place on the wing, so obviously the shoulder is still a problem to him. Wigan 22, St Helens 8. Saints need a try, and quickly too. Joint will try and provide it. Fogarty overran it.
Oh, the chance was there. That was a great move by St Helens. Fogarty just had to be on the wrong side, and oh, dearie me. The nightmare continues on. He's led so well, he's tackled so well as the captain and, of course, the coach for this game. He'll be bitterly disappointed with that. And once again, so early in the tackle count.
But it levels up the handling errors to 8 points apiece. But again, an error when St Helens are pressing and pressing. But look at the possession in that first half of this second half. 66% for Wigan, and St Helens playing catch-up all the way through.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Wigan are playing true professional football. They're working out their six. St Helens, they're not.
Here's Clark. Again, a great run from Clark. But that's a good tackle on Clark by Griffiths. Lydon drops it. It's St Helens who have it.
He's never on that pass there. Far too much traffic. They were claiming that it was knock-on from Lachlan. Didn't get his hand to it. Referee didn't see it. Desperation now for Saints. They have to score to get back into this game.
Here's Fogarty. Sonny Nicol, by the way, he's having difficulty apparently seeing through his left eye, and there's a fear that perhaps he might have cracked a bone. Neal with that run.
Well, surely Saints realise that Edwards on the wing must be injured. They've got to play towards him.
Griffiths, Lachlan hit the ball at pace and drops it again. I know our error count says 8-all, but my word, Saints have made some bad ones.
Put the pressure upon themselves again. How many times have they been in the Wigan quarter and just wasted that opportunity?
Sam Panipa feeding the scrum. Having the confidence too to Try and take 3 players with him up to the 20-metre mark. Robinson, the dummy half. Cooper, he escapes the grasp of Cooper, but he can't get away from O'Donnell. Farrell again. Robinson to Platt. Dermot to Cowie.
Quite content, Wigan. They know they're in the driving seat. They use a big forward, back for the big kick. Percentage football, that's what they're playing.
It was a great kick downfield, and it was well taken by Andy Haig. And just look at the attendance inside Central Park today, the biggest of the season by some way in the big league. 29,161. Huge crowd, big game, the big league.
St Helens finding it very difficult to get through this hard, solid Wigan defence. They've got to try to change their options, perhaps a kick over. They're playing without a sweeper at the moment, Wigan.
And Dannett has broken through. Clark is after him. Got the ball away to Dannett. But Wigan have it back. Now, did Dannett get the ball away, or was the ball stolen from him? Was it knocked out of his grasp? Whatever, Wigan on complaining, and Farrell most certainly isn't. He's steaming upfield, is Farrell. Picks himself up after being ankle tapped by Prescott.
Nice break from the youngster, but he got a dirty look from Martin O'Fire. He wanted the pass. It was open field there.
Martin Dermot made such a difference since he's come on. Dislocated his elbow for the 4th time earlier this season. Here's Barry John Mather. The centre converted from the back row forward. 6'5". Cowie has hit the ball again at pace. Try for Cowie. That's the difference between Wigan and the rest. The ball pops up and players hit that ball at pace.
If ever a forward deserved a try, it's this man, Cowie. He's worked hard. He's in super form. But look at the first attempted tackle, far too high. Nothing the youngster Prescott could do about that. Rampaging run there from Cowie. Running the angles again. Panapa it was, just delayed the pass. You can see how one man comes early. Cooper through there. That was an awful attempted tackle on the first line of defence, but well taken from Cowie. Notice how the defence comes through. Cooper misses out of the line. See it? And leaves it. 2 men went in the same area. You can't afford to do that. It's supposed to be one line of defence. No one shuffled out, and Cowie take full advantage.
Neil Cowie, his 4th of the season. He's played the last 14 games now after missing the opening 3. Lydon takes 1 step back, clips the ball over the bar. 28 points to 8.
Notice how there's 2 men taking one area. That's the gap where he goes. He knows, Saints don't. Great run from the big forward, who's in fine form. Fully deserved those 4 points.
$28 points to 8 after their awesome display against Warrington in the Regal Trophy last weekend, and this display against St Helens, their closest rivals in the big league last season. What price Wigan for a 5th consecutive title? When John Dorahy stepped off the plane to take this job on, he was told by all the Wigan supporters, beat St Helens twice and take us to Wembley and you'll be a success. At Christmas, by the looks of that scoreline, he's got a third of the job done. And since Dorahy has arrived, taking over from the man that some people said was the irreplaceable John Money, he's lost only 2 games in the big league. Robinson's after that, but Prescott read it well. And he can't get away from Mather.
Nice kick, but well played from Prescott. Good position there. He knew that Robinson was honing on him. See how he put his body between the ball and the man coming towards him. Sometimes hurts, but that is the correct procedure.
Fogarty gets the ball away. Here's Fogarty again. Last tackle, and St Helens are still in their own half of the field. O'Donnell just drops the ball over the top, and O'Fire picks up. Looks like he's carrying that right leg to me. And he's bundled into touch. That's great chase and great defence by St Helens.
Super play. That's a defence that they should have been looking for all day. Just chip over the top. Make sure your chasers are there. They were.
Skerritt's back out of the sin bin. Wigan are back to full strength. Prescott is scratched to the floor by Lydon. Cooper to Loughlin. Joint gets the ball away, Vivers. And he does the same to Cooper. But Wigan are tackling like terriers. They think they were just 2 points ahead instead of 20.
Tremendous defence. And when you think about it, both the wingers at the moment, Edwards is injured with a bad shoulder. Fired obviously below par with that hamstring problem. And yet they're moving up so quickly, they're not even allowing St Helens any opportunity to get the ball out wide.
Vivers clips one over the top. Prescott's chasing after it, but Connolly is there for Wigan. And Connolly is through the gap for Wigan. Just slipped as he took on Vivers.
Look how he just kept calm there. Played a lot in the full-back role. He's no stranger there, but that's one of the opportunities there for the centre Connolly to drop back into the full-back and the sweeping role. They do scramble very well, Wigan.
Here's Panapa again. Another super run from Panapa. Mather is there. Edwards. Now he's got a bad shoulder, but he's still got the presence of mind to skin Prescott. And Edwards touches down to crown the day. Holds the shoulder. Shakes the head. But it's 32 points Wigan and 8 St Helens.
This is sheer class. Once again, it's that man, Panapa, combining with the other substitute, Dermot. It was a beautifully timed pass from John Mather. But look at the skill here. He is such a talented player. He just gave the impression he was going to take young Prescott on the outside with speed. The step was enough. He shakes his head, feels the shoulder, but the pain will be relieved with that 4 points.
He has played in 30 local derbies against St Helens since 1984. That's the 11th try for Shaun Edwards against the old enemy. Lydon with the conversion to come, but another vintage display by Wigan here on Sky. Lydon adds the extras. It gets worse reading for St Helens fans. 34-8. Remember last year the boot was on the other foot, wasn't it?
This is how Prescott is coming away. Edwards has given the impression he's there, but one step and around he goes. Sheer class. That is quality football. The near 30,000 crowd rise to this man, and rightly so.
Remember 12 months ago, St Helens won 41-6. They wanted to erase the memory of that here today, and they have done so, Wigan. And we will follow them next week. In 7 days' time, we shall be at Wilderspool for Warrington against Wigan. That's the one that will highlight our start of the new year on the big league. Warrington, the league leaders, against Wigan, the champions. And depending on results elsewhere today, that could have some bearing on the destiny of the championship. 7 days' time, Warrington-Wigan, here on Sky Sports Big League.
Well, they talk about a team that's going to pull off all the trophies. You've got to have a lot of depth. And when you think about it, before this game started, Sam Panaper 14, Martin Dermott 15, international players he can have on the subs bench. And we mentioned it before, it's no coincidence that since those two came on, Wigan have taken control.
Well, they've got players like that on the bench, and they've got players like Dennis Betts, Billy McGinty and company still waiting to come back into this team when fully fit. And Twiggamala on the way over for Wigan from New Zealand. Well,
he's hardly a lightweight either, is he? They are going to take some stopping.
Well, they want to maintain their domination, Steve-O. And the ball has popped out now to Robinson. Such a great side and such domination, Wigan. Mather, one of the youngsters who really has come through this season. He's only 20 years old, began as a back row forward, now in the centres. Handling errors, Saints have hit double figures. This is Connolly. Connolly for the line, but just held up. O'Fire behind him. Skerrett gets the ball out wide. Mather, 6'5", he could stretch over perhaps and almost touch down, which is what he tried to do, much to the annoyance of Martin O'Fire. O'Fire at dummy half. Wigan now will spread it the other way. Oh, Panaper through! That crowns the day for Panaper. The New Zealanders playing so high on confidence. He took them all on and he got through, and that's his 7th of the season, and what an outstanding day it's been for Sam Panaper.
If you want to make a point when you're a substitute, it's play exceptionally well. This man has been superb. He just feigned the dummy, but look at the step there. The look of anguish on young Prescott said it all. Sheer class. That's all he can put it down to. He takes the ball standing still, step through the tackles, and look at that. Young Steve Prescott will look at that many, many years to come and know that he was beaten by one of the world's classy players.
Sam Panaper's 3rd try in 3 games, and it's 5 in 5 now for the Kiwi. And both substitutes who have had such an influence on this game have now scored. It's 40 points to 8. What a difference 12 months makes.
Notice how one man's come out of the line of defence. He takes advantage with the step. That's all it takes, just a split second, and he's away. You can't afford to do that. It was Jonathan Griffiths just 1 yard in front. If you don't go up in one line, it stretches that defence enough for that half break and the full break to appear.
Steve-O, as we made our way to this ground today, all the talk amongst the Wigan supporters was the fact that they wanted this game so desperately to take place, and also they wanted so desperately for Wigan to turn the tables. Look at that scoreline, 48. It was 41-6 the other way this time last year.
It's sweet revenge, there is little doubt. But it's an amazing thing that for the first 20 minutes, St Helens were the better side. They really had shaken this Wigan defence up. They were playing with a lot of confidence, and then for some unknown reason, they just capitulated. They gave away silly penalties. They tried to be tough rather than classy, and Wigan have hit back in the best possible way.
So we're through Christmas, and Wigan maintain their pursuit of this 5th consecutive title. What other riches does 1994 have in store? At the moment, they will have the head and feet of the scrum because of Mike Riley's knock-on. It's going from bad to worse for Saints.
Difficult condition there. It was facing the right way, but it just squeezes in front. I'm sure that Saints will be happy to see the back of 93.
Here's Panapa. And Connolly having a little tete-a-tete with Chris Joynt. Teammates just a few short months ago, but on totally opposite sides of the fence now. Dermot to Skerrett. Cooper trying to bring him down. Well, Vivas is still limping heavily. Remember, he took a heavy bang on the hip. Trying to score a try for St Helens second half. Panapa dabs it forward. One for Lydon to chase. Lydon try. No try. Knock on. Holsworth rules it out.
Set move. Didn't get a hand to it. It's a definite knock on. Good ruling from the referee and the touch judges. They were quick, but once again, with Sam Panapa, it was a beautiful little kick through. They're running high on confidence, and rightly so, with the scoreline at 40 points to 8.
Into the last half minute then of normal time, plus anything the timekeepers might add on for stoppages. Consolation is all that St Helens are after now, with Sullivan who drops it. Well, there was no pressure on him then. That must be icy fingers. It must be the conditions.
Well, that's probably the first time that Sullivan's touched it in the second half. Lachlan made a great break. It was never under control, was it?
So we're in time added on now. And the rivals in the Stones Bitter Championship had better believe that Wigan are out to retain their crown in 94. A comprehensive victory for the champions against their keenest local rivals. And I think this result here today, Steve-O, really does signal the end of St Helens Championship ambitions for this season.
They won't be able to come back from this. They've lost too many games, lost a lot of confidence. This really will hurt them. But with a new coach starting this week, let's hope that 94 brings them a lot better than what it has latter part of this year. Skerrett nearly never taking control of that. Far too much heavy traffic, took his eyes off the football.
Griffiths. The man hitting that at speed was Riley, but Connolly watched him all the way. And what's more, Riley has knocked on, and this day of disaster for St Helens continues.
Well, he had the ball pinched in my book. Gary Connolly definitely got the left hand to it. He's done his part. Mike Riley, it's been a tough one for Saints. But the dreadnought just continues on, doesn't it? This Wigan side.
Bit of blood from the right eyebrow of Andy Platt. So he takes just a few moments to get patched up. But this match is won. And here is the man of the match, Sam Panapa. And Platt just checks with the touch judge, stems the flow and comes back on as Mather tries to get the ball away. It hits
offside.
Clark. He was offside because it was Edwards who hacked the ball forward.
Well, when you've got a big scoreline like that, you can take the gamble. No catch-up on this part, but it was never really on. No doubt this coach, John Dorrie, will have a few words to say about that, but they're not too nonplussed with 40 points rattled up on the board.
There's the full-time siren. The revenge is complete. He's had a great game, hasn't he, Sam Panapa, the Kiwi? Gary Connolly will have enjoyed his first meeting against his former club. Smiles all round for Wigan and dismay for St Helens.
You're watching Sky Sport.
So a great win for Wigan by 40 points to 8. St Helens, though, at one stage were 8-0 up, thanks to all the points coming from young Steve Prescott. Wigan's points, though, shared out between Dermot, O'Fire, Farrell, Clark, Cowie, Edwards and Panapa, and the goals from Botica and Lydon. The biggest crowd of the season watching this one, and Sam Panapa deservedly the man of the match.
Sam, it's not often the man of the match comes off the bench to win the award. You must be delighted.
I don't know about that, but I am delighted, especially for today's win. It was an important win, especially for the 2 points. Last year we dropped these 2 points, which made it hard for us, and it came close towards the end, so hope it set us up for a good finish.
What do you think made the difference? Because Saints took the lead and they were really going into you, but you seemed to just edge away.
Well, we had a couple of good runs 2 weeks beforehand, so we were tested at Oldham and again at Warrington, so we knew we were going to be in for a hard match today against Saints, so they came out fired 100%, like we knew they would, but it was just managing to consolidate on what we had and finish.
And to seal it with a lovely try for you.
Yeah, well, all credit to the players. You know, they worked hard. Just another cog in the wheel, you know, to keep things going.
Martin, in the end, that was a comprehensive Wigan victory, but early doors, it looked as though it was going to be one hell of a struggle.
Yeah, it always is on a Boxing Day clash. Everybody knows that at the rugby calendar. The lads stuck to it well in the first 20. We knew that St Helens was going to give it everything in the first half. All we had to do was weather the storm, or come out in the second half and put the pressure on more, which all credit to St Helens, played very well. When the second half, they just couldn't handle, you know, the big centres, and the forwards just dominated them.
You started the afternoon on the bench. You ended up playing a pretty influential role.
Yeah, it's no good being on the bench. I'll have to go out there on the start. Martin has been playing, you know, really good football. It's just a matter of waiting, picking my moment, and just going for it.
Does this make up for Boxing Day last year?
Yeah, it does. I think everybody in Wigan, you know, will enjoy this victory, you know, twice as much. They gave us a good hiding there last year, and the roles reversed this year.
John, the Wigan fans made it clear when you arrived to do this job that you had to beat Saints on Boxing Day, so you've achieved that objective.
Yeah, first and foremost, that's the one objective that I had to achieve, and you know, you've got to take your hats off to the guys, the 15 guys who are out there. They played magnificently considering the state of the pitch.
But really, in the scale of things, does this just rate as another 2 points on the way to the championship?
No, I believe it's probably worth 4 when you consider that Saints would always be a threat, and now that we've done them here at home, I think that is definitely worth 4 points in the end.
And I think you've made the Wigan fans Christmas, because you've avenged last Boxing Day's defeat.
Yeah, I believe so. The supporters have to be very happy with what we've turned out today, and it was near enough to the same scoreline that what occurred last Boxing Day the other way around, and I'm very happy, and so are the lads inside.
Eric, your verdict on that Saints performance?
Well, obviously we're very disappointed. There's a few problems in the camp. We can see that. That's obvious to everybody. It's where to start, really. We made so many basic errors, give the ball away, too many mistakes. But I think above all, the first thing I've got to try and do is pick up the confidence and self-belief. It seems to be at rock bottom at the moment.
And that despite the fact that you actually took the lead in this game, so it's obviously wafer thin, the confidence.
Well, we got a good start, but when things started to go wrong, the head started to drop far, far too early. And you can't do that against a side like Wigan, obviously.
But there were positive aspects.
There's some ability in the side for sure. We've got problems. We've lost some of our key players with injury, obviously the likes of Alan Hunt, Tira Party, George Mann. But and perhaps one of the problems in the club is there's strength in depth. Only time will tell when we assess that. But apart from that, there are still some good players in the club. We need to add to the squad, but the biggest thing we need to do is pick up our self-belief, pick up our confidence and play to the best of our ability, and we're not doing that at the moment.
So a crisis in confidence at St Helens for the new coach Eric Hughes, and he will begin his new job in the knowledge that St Helens have suffered their biggest defeat here at Central Park since 1987, and it's the first time in 3 years that they have conceded 40 points or more. Steve-O, Eric Hughes has got a big job on his hands.
Very big job indeed, because St Helens today proved that they lacked the killer punch. They raced to an 8-0 lead, and quite frankly, they should have applied the screws to Wigan. They allowed Wigan back in with some very stupid penalties, and that's going to be another big problem for the new coach.
Having said that, Wigan have ended 1993 as they really went through the whole year. There are more riches in store for them, I think, in 94.
I think so. They're an awesome pack. They've got the speed out wide, and when Twiggamala joins them, they'll even be a better side, if you can say that.
Now the other results in the First Division. Wigan and St Helens here today. Bradford 26, Halifax 18, Featherstone 18, Castleford 28, Hull Kingston Rovers 14, Hull 6, Leeds 20, Wakefield 16, and Oldham 8, Salford 20. The match between Widnes and Warrington postponed. Norton Park was frozen solid. The situation at the top then, courtesy of this win, Wigan are now the leaders. They have a game in hand. They're level on points with Warrington, who didn't play today, and Bradford, who did. Down at the bottom, well, it's looking a bit difficult now for Oldham and Wakefield. They are the two clubs leading the dogfight to get away from Lee at the foot of the table. Division 2 results. Well, all the matches postponed, with the exception of Hunslet and Bramley. Hunslet 4, Bramley 18. Top of the table then remains unchanged. Huddersfield and Workington leading the way. But down at the bottom, congratulations this Christmas to Bramley, their first victory of the season. It's taken them 14 games, but at long last, they're off the mark. Now, coming up in the big league next week, we'll be at Wilderspool, weather permitting, for Warrington against Wigan. The top two in the big league clash, and you can see it all on Sky next Sunday at 7 o'clock. Then, the following Friday, the first Friday big league of the new year, we travel to Lee, the bottom club taking on Widnes. It's Lee and Widnes, the local derby, on the big league, Friday the 7th, also 7 o'clock. We're live and exclusive at Hilton Park. And don't forget, this Thursday at 7 and every week, it's Boots and All when we discuss all the topics in rugby league.